Hayi, igama lami Ndukunozikhumiso Khula. Njengoba siyazi ba lenyanga yomama, sifuna ukwazi ba kwenzeke ntoni eSouth Africa. Omama bethu bayadlwengulwa ngodada, abantwana bayakidnapwa, osisi bethu bayabulawa. Sifuna ukwazi ekuhlaleni babacinga ntoni ngalonto leyo, ngoba isizwe sethu ngoku sonakele. We just gonna find out from our experts, kwi-students, komama bethu nasekuhlaleni ngalo meko leyo.
Umuntu ongutata ebantwaneni njengoba senditshilo ekuqaleni, yabona, uyinhloko yekhaya. Uyiqonda loo nto? Uyinhloko yekhaya. Laa nto uYesu Kristu ebeyiyo umzali wakhe. Obona mna, ubona bani? Ubawo, utsho uYesu. Bekho loo relationship ekhona phakathi koYesu noYesu ngokwayo. Utata umele banjalo abantwana bakhe. Uyayiqonda loo nto? Umntana umele ukufuza utata wakhe. Akubonwa ehamba phaya kodwa hey mntakabani lowa. Ufuze utata wakhe. Xa ubona laa mntana, ubona uyise. Ungumcephu uqandiwe ngoyise. Sebelungu bathi like father, like son.
A lot of current research shows us that involved fathers play a significant role in children actually developing as emotionally secure individuals. So the role of a father is actually very, very important. But we also have to look at what that role is and being an involved father and I suppose what that means. And I think perhaps also there isn't maybe enough information out there about the importance of fathers. You know, if you go to a bookshop, you may find a lot of books about mothering and maybe parenting, but there isn't actually enough around about fathers. So I think sometimes dads are a little bit neglected when speaking about parenting and children and their role in it, but it is actually very significant.
Active role katata in umntana, it's very important. Kuba ikhaya linida utata, abantwana bakhula befuna i-role model engutata. Zininzi ke iduties katata ekhaya, kodwa eyona ibaluleke kakhulu mna endikhulelwa kuyo is to protect your family.
Is definitely somebody who is supporting, who is there for them to look up to, who they want to be exactly like the hero, somebody who's kind and nurturing, no bullying or things like that, somebody that you can always go to talk to about anything, where it's a comfort zone. That must be your safe zone. That's the type of person a father should be, that you should be able to approach. So definitely somebody that's approachable and you can feel comfortable with.
So
abantwana ababini abakhulayo ekhayeni intombi nenkwenkwe. Untombi is got unohope for ukudlala. Umfana is given igana. Now between the two toys, the other one shows a position of power and strength. You know, igana iyakudubula. It means that it can hurt you. So automatically umntana ongumfana ufundiswa ukuba une position of power and control over the other party. So laa nto iye izimanifeste as abantwana bekhula, even as umuntu ongumfana okanye umuntu ongutata, you feel that xa u-interacta nomuntu ongumama wena superior, you are in more control and you are more powerful. So that's where the problem starts. Even into ye-rape to me it's a power struggle. The men must show that they are more powerful with one strength than umuntu ongumama. It's a big crisis. And like I said, every day yanda.
Ihamba njalo loo nto iye ekuhlaleni phakathi kwabantu. NjengoYesu azange ahlale abe isolated, ebe phakathi kwabantu for 30 years. uYesu Kristu 30 full years engengumfundisi ephakathi kokwabo eyikhapentari esebenza notata wakhe uYosefu enyameni. Umbona wathatha nomsebenzi lo katata wakhe. He was a carpenter esebenza njengotata wakhe esebenza phansi kotata wakhe. Ndikholwa lona.
I do think having a household where there are more people involved, so a mom and a dad, or whether it's two dads and two moms, it just helps because there is so much pressure on the couple and on the family unit that you really do need to share, responsibilities and share chores and both work as a team. And often it's very difficult for one person to do all of it. So I do think it is vital. I think back in the day we had, the saying, it takes a village to raise a child. We don't have the village who's helping us raise the children. So that's where there's so much pressure then on the family unit. So I see a lot of couples really struggling and really taking strain and not really knowing how to almost share these duties and these roles and these responsibilities. So I think having support is very vital.
Thina bazali asenalo ithuba xa sithetha inyaniso imsulwa asinalo ithuba elaneleyo nabantwana bethu ngemeko ezininzi sasazi simpangelo mna ndimka ekuseni ndibuye late umama uvuka naye akhwele kweyakhe imoto abheke emsebenzini okanye ukwenza ibhizinesi abuye late. Abantwana bethu banexesha elininzi abanalo on their own, kungekho mntu othi hayi okanye ewe, bezenzela befumana i-influence okanye befumana i-teachings kubanye abantu. Iyolidisha ke loo nto leyo papa umntana wakho ayolidisha esandleni ezirongo kubantu abathengisayo, bathengisa drugs, kubantu abazitshayayo, kwiitshomi ezenza yonke into. Kodwa ke eyona nto ibalulekileyo sasazi zathi thina bazange khupha litsole sithi asenaso isandla esingqwabalana abantwaneni bethu ngenxa yeemeko ke zamaxesha.
How easy or difficult is it to raise a child like that as a mother? Well, I feel it's adjustable. It can be really difficult at times, but it can be done. And I think also if you have a good support system and things like that, then anything is possible. It has its ups and downs, but sometimes it's really not as bad as what it seems, but it can be done. Sometimes very difficult too, but it's really not that bad. Of course, there are times when you would prefer to have both parents around, but life happens, you can't always have it that way. So then that's when you just make the most out of the situation that you're in. That's very important.
Two things, in my view, need to be done. One, funeke sifundise abantwana from a tender age.
Okay.
Of how umntwana ongumfana, how he should treat umntwana oyintombazana, how he should treat himself, self-controlling, yabo. And that as well, umuntu ngokomkhulu osongumfana, we need to educate them so that they unlearn izinto bakhule nazo. And izinto ezincinci, umntwana makavazi izitya endlini. The gender roles also have a portrayal of the power struggle. Umuntu ongutata needs to learn that it's okay to cry, and that ukuthetha, because we are part of the reasons abantu bebetha kakhulu, they are frustrated, they have everything bottled in, so bakhuphe through violence. So it's also a thing that we have to do, that the society in general, both of mama and tata, need to unlearn as patriarchal tendencies.
Kufuneka umzekelo ophilayo emntaneni. You see? Ungathi emntaneni yenza leya abe ingabonakali kuwe tata loo nto. Yaqonda loo nto. Funeka uyiphile le nto yiyo. You see? Nanso i-relationship enhle kakhulu ephakathi komntana noyise. Yayibona?
There isn't maybe enough information out there about the importance of fathers. You know, if you go to a bookshop, you may find a lot of books about mothering and maybe parenting, but there isn't actually enough around about fathers. So I think sometimes dads are a little bit neglected when speaking about parenting and children and their role in it, but it is actually very significant. And then on the other side, also a father who does have mental health problems, and a father who, and the same with a mother, you know, that also has a significant impact on a child's development.
Ngathi indima yabazali, both parents, umama notata, ibalekile ekuqeqesheni abantwana. Abantwana bethu ke ngoku asisababethi ababethwa, siyathetha nabo. Imagine uzama ureasonisha ngokwakho nomntwana aphume phandle ahambe ayodibana nabanye abantwana baxoxe abaxoxa ngako, babonisane, ayifani nale ayifumana koogxa bakhe, kungene ke ngoku i-peer pressure apho kuloo ndawo.
I think that's one of the things that gets to me the most is of how people, with all the abuse that's carrying on nowadays, and you know what, you hear about it for every second story in your friends group, on Facebook, all over social media. It's all that you're seeing, it's just taking over. And even with people that you know, everyone is just abusing drugs. You know, later on when you actually hear stories, it's half becoming the norm, that it's not even something that's oh my word or something that's weird anymore, because so many people are doing it, and it's disgusting that it's becoming like that. Some people have actually said, yeah, drugs or things like that is the next cigarette because it's so acceptable, and so that's terrible for me. And with the abuse, physical and mental abuse, it's just getting worse and worse. And also, I've also seen cases where women have been abused in public places and nobody helps because they're too scared of the man or things like that, or nothing gets reported because they're too scared of what's going to happen to them, and that's cowards. I think everybody needs the most help that they can get, because we don't know how many people are in these terrible situations that they can't get out of. And even with the drugs, people need help, and they think it's fun at partying, but they don't realize that it's actually, they have a problem. That they have a problem if they have to do it every weekend or whatever the case may be. So everybody just needs to get a bit of help.
You know, what we mean by mother and father, and we maybe look at what it is to be a parent, you know, and I think, you know, what it means to be a father or a mother, you know, it's actually being involved in your child's life, you know, it's actually communicating with your child, showing an active interest, you know, looking at how you discipline, look at how you form a relationship. And I think sometimes that's where it could be a little bit more difficult for men, because I don't think men are always socialized and given permission to be vulnerable, you know, to be relational, you know. And I think that is sometimes where it is difficult for the man then to know, where do I fit in? You know, if I'm not just this provider making the money and the mother's doing all these other things, how do I then build a relationship with my child? You know, and I mean, I often find, you know, the way dads do things, it's often very different to the way the moms do it. The way the dad's going to go bath the child or feed the child or play with the child, it's different. Yes, maybe they use the hose pipe, you know, to wash the child off, but that's okay. You know, it's good. Children can benefit from both sides of that. You know, I think sometimes dads are also a lot more comfortable with being playful. You know, I think that's where they often find their comfort is, you know, getting down and dirty and playing with the kids. But I do think sometimes maybe they struggle with the emotional side of things. They struggle to be emotionally present, probably because in themselves they don't know how to process their own feelings or deal with their own, you know, emotions.
They have been taught through growing up. The second thing that we have to do, we need a strong
commitment and participation from the government.
Okay.
The law of arm. You need to know that ukubulala is the same as ukubetha umuntu, it's the same as ukurape, it's the same as ukuba. You know, because part of the reasons that people rape and kill again and again is because itrong itself is a picnic. Even the process of a trial, I can't do about it from the one that is the abuser. Another implementing arm is our health system, because in a lot of court cases you are failed by a medical report. You know, you are failed by the procedure it took for even within the court case. So we need those. And also the third is social development, which is supposed to focus on gender-based violence in terms of the education, and it's even supposed to assist those you don't have doors to go to, are not of the assistance that they're supposed to. So 2 things: teach your kids, teach indlu yakho, unlearn ezinto sewuzazi is wrong already, and this is going to happen through education. And the second thing is the commitment from the government, implementing arms to solve these societal issues, need to be of par excellence. So that's
Okay, thank you so much, Swam.
well, bahlali vele usinox uyithethe yonke yacaca yavakala. Well,
kukonje abantwana bakhe. He's a provider. Yabona? He's a provider. Ebantwaneni bakhe. Zonke imfuno zabantwana bakhe. Utata ufuneka aziprovide. Ekhulisa abantwana bakhe. Engabakhulisi ngokubona ubani ngaphaya. Ebakhulisa ebona kuye utata. Utata ufuneka abe yilento afuna abantwana bakhe babe yiyo. Abe naye eyilento uThixo afuna uba abe yiyo. Yayibona loo nto leyo. Asisuke kuThixo kakhulu apha esibhalweni. Asisuke kwilizwi likaThixo. Ilizwi likaThixo lisisibane esinyaweni sethu, likukhanya endleleni yethu. The moment umbeka ecaleni uThixo, uyabona, usekulahlekile, nabantwana bakho baza kulahleka ngenxaba icampus ilahlekile kuwo elilizwi likaThixo.
But that almost feels like something superficial to leave someone. I mean, if he's a great dad, if he's involved, if he's helping you in the mornings get the kids ready for school, if he's available to do the homework with them, if he's watching them play sport, you know, is that a good reason then to kick him out because he's struggling to find a job? You know, so I think we've got to look at each situation very individually. We often need to look at maybe what are good reasons to get out of a situation. And I think when there's a lot of violence, you know, when there is abuse, that type of environment, and also verbal and emotional abuse, not just necessarily physical, you know, those are often situations where we maybe need to evaluate what is in the best interest of the child.
Do you know what? I think so, but what I'm realizing about today's society is that it happens way later in life. So say for example, I think years ago, say for example years ago when people were young parents, you know, they just had to adjust to it and just take on that role. But when nowadays, if people become young parents, I feel like only later on they are actually adjusting, and then only when they get into their 30s or 40s or things like that, then they actually decide they want to be fathers or grandfathers, whatever the case may be. So I think a little bit later, sometimes it might be a bit too late. I feel there is hope. I pray that there's hope. I really hope there's hope. Because, you know, if you think of our kids, I want them to have a grandfather they can look up to as we did. And the way I look up to my father, I could only wish that for our children and things like that. So that is very important, yes. So I really hope there is hope.
I hope you guys are going to change. Be a father, be a man of this country, because you are the leader of this country. As a woman, make sure you raise up your voice. Don't keep quiet. Come together and fight this. Thank you.